Good morning, Bear Nation. We all gonna die Wednesday, and we'll just get the prepper shenanigans out of the way. We are all gonna die. It's just a matter of time. So hopefully not today, but who knows? Maybe today's your day. Maybe today's my day. Let's not hasten the day. But you get hit by a bus, nothing I could do about it. I apologize. Good morning to everybody in the chat. Bear Independent Brief 30 November 22. If you're new here, do yourself a favor, subscribe. If you're not new here, you know what to do. Share the show with somebody you love, okay? Okay, Bear. All right, good talk. There's an update on the looming rail strike. President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. has asked Congress to block the strike and charge forward with instituting the previously brokered deal from September that was rejected by workers from 4 unions. This means that the workers will not get paid sick leave that they've been fighting for. Biden said, quote, he didn't say any of this. His handlers dangled the strings enough like this. Here, let's be a Biden puppet. As a proud pro-labor president, I am reluctant to override the ratification procedures and the views of those who voted against the agreement. But in this case, where the economic impact of a shutdown would hurt millions of other working people and families, and my approval ratings, I believe Congress must use its power to adopt this deal. End quote. He also said in a statement, I share workers' concern about the inability to take leave to recover from illness or care for a sick family member. No one should have to choose between their job and their health. Oh, okay, okay. I mean, but by the way, you're mandated to do these 2 things and these other things in half of the world's industrial sectors? No one should have to choose between their job and their health or the health of their children. End quote. Quick question. Why do these rail workers, why do they need paid sick leave? Why are they sick? What were they perhaps mandated to do at some point during their career recently, maybe post 2019? Just a question. Also, why is there a labor shortage in this industry and so many other industries? Well, don't you understand, Bear? Don't you watch Mr. Peter Zehan from Geo Now? I do. Well, then surely you're aware that it's a demographics issue. It is. Where did the demography go? Well, people are retiring. Define retiring. Like we dug a hole and pushed them into it? That kind of retiring? Because there's a lot of people who are coming out of retirement because the cost of living has skyrocketed due to poor national leadership and a host of other issues that we've had, like, inflation, looming debt bubbles, global conflict, scarcity of resources, etc. By the way, did you know, I was taught this morning by the lady at the coffee shop, if you want just a coffee with heavy cream in it, that's called a breve. If you say so, sounds good. I just wanted some coffee, but now you know. We've both been educated today. The 3rd largest rail union, the Brotherhood of Maintenance of Way Employees Division. The Brotherhood? Come on now. What about the sisterhood? What about the non-binary hood? What about the I shit in the litter box hood of people? Clearly, you can already tell these people are out of line. The Brotherhood of Maintenance of Way Employees Division issued its own scathing statement in response. Quote, it is not enough to share workers' concerns. A call to Congress to act immediately to pass legislation that adopts tentative agreements that excludes paid sick leave ignores the railroad workers' concerns. End quote. While the unions express their discontent, business groups that rely on rail transport are, of course, optimistic, as the strike could halt 30% of freight flow and temporarily thrust 765,000 workers out of their rail-dependent jobs. So wait a minute, the unions aren't happy with Democrats? What's going on here? Are there, oh please, dear God, are there cement shoes in somebody's future? Anybody's future? We're going to bury another person underneath the end zone in Giant Stadium? Like, what's going on here? Just curious. Do we need another motorcade in Dealey Plaza? Did I just say all of that shit out loud? I said all that out loud, didn't I? I said all, okay, well, it's been nice knowing you. Have a great life. I'm about to be swatted. So the unions are currently disagreeing with the Democrats. Huh? How interesting. Oh, how the tides have turned. The spokesperson, I didn't know this was a thing, but it's a thing. The spokesperson for the National Association of Truck Stop Owners, or NATSO, Tiffany Wlazagowski-Newman said, quote, if a work stoppage were to occur, it would immediately disrupt fuel marketers' ability to ensure a reliable and stable supply of fuel for U.S. consumers and for the nation's commercial fleets. The U.S. economy in many ways revolves around transportation fuel. Duh. And if the necessary components to that fuel cannot get to where they are needed, the market impact will be drastic. A prolonged railroad shutdown will constrain the nation's fuel supply by disrupting the availability of ethanol, which is often an essential component of gasoline, and diesel exhaust fluid, which most heavy-duty trucks need to run. It's good to know. Ethanol and diesel exhaust fluid. Apparently, urea is back in the game. The piss is flowing once again, so that's good news. So the National Association of Truck Stop Owners is not terribly happy about this potential looming railroad strike either. I need more of this coffee. I know it's late in the morning for y'all, but I've had a very busy morning thus far. KD, it's definitely a problem. Look at you, man. Look at you. You got all the puns today. By the way, SOE Tactical Gear, SOE Tactical, makes this awesome hoodie. You should go there and buy awesome stuff from them because Bear said so. Biden is confident that the strike will be averted, but not everyone is on board. So I'm assuming, I don't mean to assume his gender, but I'm pretty sure he identifies as a he. I wonder if he's flat in front like Ken is now that he's basically an animated corpse. Like they just did like a Biden reboot. Anyway, it's a deep fake, Bear. Biden, he is confident that the strike will be averted, but not everyone is on board. So Biden has kicked this to Congress to say, yo, force these people to go back to work. Senator Marco Rubio tweeted, quote, I will not vote to impose a deal that doesn't have the support of the rail workers, end quote. Several other people have indicated hesitancy, refusing to announce their position when asked by the media. CNN, Communist News Network, has noted, quote, any one member can delay a quick vote and potentially put off a final action until after the December 9th deadline to avert a strike. The plot thickens. So, yet again, we're talking about railway strikes, so the potentiality for stuff to not move. And then potentially the entire global collapse of society because we don't have diesel and exhaust fluid and we don't have cheap Chinese bullshit to put underneath the Christmas trees this season and blah. Preparedness, basic preparedness, handles a myriad of problems, as my pastor, Pastor Joe Fox, likes to say. Shout out to PJ. Basic preparedness addresses a myriad of problems. Do you have food? Do you have water? Do you have shelter? Do you have security? Do you have the ability to stay warm? Because I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you've noticed, I don't know if you've clicked on the 62 videos in the Grindstone playlist here, but we've been known to work a storm or two, like 36 of them in the last 42 months, right? And nobody cares what's underneath the Christmas tree if your house is gone or if you're freezing to death or starving to death. Nobody cares about global geopolitics if you don't have a roof. Nobody cares. So handle the basic stuff. And if you're like, cool story, Bear, I'm new to prepping. I don't know shit from Shinola when it comes to prepping. So why are you up here teaching all this 301 level bullshit when I'm still stuck in 101? The Prepper Classroom. Free playlist here on YouTube. 30-ish whiteboard videos broken down Barney style. I know I need food, but what food do I need? Watch that video in the prepper classroom. It's free. Okay, Bear. All right, good talk, everybody. A couple other things I want to look at from from MSN. MSN. Great headline. Oil execs rip Biden's administration completely inaccurate, flat-out lie about U.S. energy production. After the White House claimed that U.S. oil producers, quote, have plenty of opportunities to drill domestically, some executives are slamming the administration's completely inaccurate, flat-out lie. Quote, we've basically tracked about 125 specific actions that this administration and the Democratic Congress have done to slow down or stop oil production in America. Sounds almost intentional. I'm not just going out on a limb here. It sounds almost intentional. 125 data points could be coincidence, could also be intentional. American Energy Alliance President Tom Pyle said on Varney & Co. on Tuesday. I have no idea what Varney & Co. is. It sounds like some prepackaged media bullshit, talking head stuff. He has an America Last energy policy, said this dude, President Tom Pyle. When asked by Fox News correspondent Peter Doocy why President Biden would rather let U.S. companies drill for oil in Venezuela than here in the U.S., NSC Strategic Communication Coordinator John Kirby defended easing oil sanctions against Venezuela, saying that there are plenty of untapped opportunities for companies to drill in the United States. On Saturday, the Treasury Department announced its decision to allow California-based Chevron to resume limited energy production in Venezuela after years of sanctions that have dramatically curtailed oil and gas profits that have flowed to Maduro's government. Kirby told Doocy that his framing of the question was not an accurate take on the president's view, to which Doocy retorted that the president himself earlier this month said, quote, there is no more drilling, end quote. So that's fun. That's good times. The fossil fuels don't come up out of the ground. We don't have trains to put them on. There's no way to haul the cheap Chinesium bullshit that you're going to stuff underneath the Christmas tree this year. It's literally the end of the world. From RT.com, Russian propaganda, explosion at Ukrainian embassy in Madrid. One employee injured in a blast allegedly caused by a letter bomb. I just enjoy the creativity on this one. An employee at the Ukrainian embassy in Madrid was injured on Wednesday after a letter he was handling exploded, Reuters reported, citing Spanish police. The staff member has reportedly suffered only light injuries and has attended the hospital. The blast occurred at 1:17 p.m. local time and was reported to Spanish authorities by the embassy itself, according to Europe Press. Local law enforcement have now cordoned off the area around the building as canine units are working on the scene. Anti-terrorist protocols have also been activated throughout the city, the outlet reports. Oh my gosh, did you hear about the embassy bombing in Ukrainian embassy in Madrid? It was a letter, and the guy sounds okay. There's legitimate things to be concerned about as far as the world's ending, but let's not make mountains out of molehills. Also, I don't know if you've ever held a piece of mail, but most of the mail I've held has been pretty easy to ascertain, like, this might be a bomb. It's ticking. It's pretty heavy. It's not flat. It has like a handwritten address on it that says, to the guy I want to die, XOXO, bad guy. Like, this is probably a bomb. I should probably not open this. A Spanish government official told local media that an investigation into the incident has been opened by the national police and that the embassy worker, who is believed to be a Ukrainian national, has only suffered a minor injury to the finger on his right hand. Boo-boo kit, refugemedical.com. Telemadrid reports that police sources have indicated that the envelope was addressed to the Ukrainian ambassador and contained a small homemade explosive that was not picked up by the embassy security services. The Ukraine's embassy to Spain has yet to release an official statement on the incident. Band-Aids will fix it, not the end of the world. So you might hear some hype about there was a bombing at the Ukrainian embassy in Spain. The guy, he still has all of his fingernails, let alone fingers. He'll be okay. And finally, also Russian propaganda from RT. Elon Musk is fed up with the Fed. Great. I don't know who's writing these headlines, but that one's tremendous. The Tesla CEO has called for an immediate rate cut to prevent a recession. Yes, I know. I shot a video, brief aside. I shot a video. It'll be coming out, I think next Tuesday, called A Revolution of One. And one of the things I discussed in that video, which I may re-record because it took me 20 minutes to get my thoughts in order to get to what I actually wanted to say, but we'll see. A revolution of one. One of the things I was talking about in that video is we, as preparedness-minded individuals, as preppers, as survivalists, as whatever, right? We think about all the potential things that could go bad, right? Mitigating risk. Preparedness is mitigating risk. It's basically insurance. You're investing money so that you can mitigate risk to the assets that you value the most. Your family, your friends, your loved ones, whatever, right? That's prepping. Prepping is insurance. And so we look at all the potential things that could go wrong. But I don't think enough of us look at all the potential things that could go right. Core foundational tenet, mindset shift for me. What's going right in your life? Right? Like, why are we constantly focusing on all the bad? Because if you focus on the bad, guess what you're going to find? Bad. You're going to find more bad. Your normalcy bias is skewed towards bad rather than skewed towards good. Maybe, good morning, sanctified survival. I appreciate you. Maybe we should start looking for the good stuff in the world as well. Maybe we should go and be the light. We should go and be the hands and feet. Maybe there's opportunities out there that we're not seeing, that we're not taking because we're worried about the looming financial crisis that's going to end globalization and the world is going to descend into utter chaos and my neighbors are going to be eating each other. It's okay. Possible. Probable? Depends on the day. You know what is still possible, believe it or not, in this country, as absolutely jacked up as it is still entirely possible for you to take $1,000 and start a small business and 3.5 years later to have your product on 4 continents. I've done it. I get it. I know it, right? It's entirely possible for you to get out of debt and move from the city to the country with an 80-year-old grandma, a toddler, children, a wife, right? And not owe anybody a dime. It can be done. Is it easy? Nah, hell no. But why do you want to be rewarded so deeply for easy, you lazy schlub? Doesn't work that way. Right? So it's possible, right? It's still possible, even though our national leadership is terrible, to lead a good, fruitful, God-fearing, blessed life in this United States of America. And so we focus on all the terrible things that are happening when we should maybe take 10% of our time, energy, blood, sweat, tears, treasure, and mitigate risk, and then take that other 90% and pour into opportunity. Instead of just bitching about being stuck on the hamster wheel. You don't get it, Bear. I just can't. Because you're right, you can't. You're absolutely right. You talked yourself right into it. You can't. You are 100% correct. Or I can, I will. You can't stop me. I will die trying. Tell me I can't. Watch me. How much more fruitful could your life be? How much more powerful could this nation be? How much better off would we be? How much deeper would your faith look like if you took that approach? Instead of trying to mitigate all the bullshit all the time, identify it, mitigate it, move on. Next. What am I going to absolutely slaughter today? What am I going to crush today? What goals have I set for myself? Where do I want to be today, tomorrow, a year, 5 years from now? Oh, yeah, but did you hear the world's ending? No shit. It's been ending since the day it started. You've been dying since the day you were born. Everybody dies. Very few people actually live. So Elon Musk is pissed off at the Fed. Tesla and Twitter boss Elon Musk has called for the U.S. Federal Reserve to slash the key interest rate as soon as possible in order to avoid a severe recession. He added that the regulator's latest attempt to bring down inflation could make the situation worse. The critical remarks published on Musk's Twitter account on Wednesday came in an exchange with Tesmanian, which is Tesla Accessories and News portal co-founder Vincent Yu, in which several other executives participated. Quote, trend is concerning. Fed needs to cut interest rates immediately. They are massively amplifying the probability of a severe recession. And the article goes on and on and on from here. But we know this. So what are you going to do about it? I don't know. Invest in intangibles, invest in real things, invest in yourself, invest in your own small businesses. Don't be heavily leveraged. Get out of debt. I hear all the time from so many of you, you don't understand. I just can't. Sure you can. Bust your ass. Get out of debt. Well, what are they going to do? You can't get blood from a stone, Bear. You ever heard of debtors' prisons? You're going to be owned by Visa, Amex, MasterCard, Discover. Does anybody even have a Discover card anymore? Yeah, they will own you. You will pay with your blood, sweat, and tears for what you couldn't pay for with your fiat currency. Yeah, that's the brief for today. If you're on Patreon, not only do you not suck, you are the economic engine of the Bear Nation. I appreciate you deeply. There's a link in the description of every video and live stream to Patreon, or go to patreon.com, search for Bear Independent. This morning's video on Patreon was Mentors and Green Berets. Really good video. So check that out. RefugeMedical.com. Listen, it's the holiday season. You could buy people shit that doesn't matter, that's made in China or elsewhere by our enemies, or you could support an American-made small business, and you could literally give the gift of life this holiday season. So check that out, RefugeMedical.com. We have a ton of stuff, actual literal tons of stuff, several semi-loads of stuff in stock, shipping fast. Thank you, Adrian. So when we say it's in stock, that means it's underneath my roof. And now you might be asking, cool story, but why should I take your word for this? Like, only 56 people are still alive because of this. Only all branches of the U.S. Armed Forces electively have chosen to run our first aid kits on only 4 continents. I know there's more than 4, but one of them you're not allowed to live on because there's a Nazi base there, and it's, that's where the ice wall is for the flat Earth. You can't go there. Admiral What's-His-Face tried to fly his plane down there, Operation High Jump. It was really bad, right? So that one's excluded anyway, and then Santa lives at one of the other ones, and so we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. So that's refugemedical.com. Give the gift of life this holiday season. Put something that matters in somebody's hands rather than just one more piece of cheap Chinesium bullshit. Refuge training. If you do not understand how to not die, like I have a kit, but I don't know how to use it. Good morning, T. Tarpnele. I appreciate you. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I very much so appreciate you. Thank you very much. Very generous super chat. Refuge training. There's an interactive map on refugetraining.com where you can see our classes. What's live in the store right now? Find the one that's nearest to you and go there. Go there. Learn the fine art of how to not die. Okay, Bear, I'll do that. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much. And grindstoneministries.com. Yesterday was Giving Tuesday. It's the end of the year. If you are an individual, an agency, an organization, an S Corp, an LLC, an Inc., whatever, and you're like, I need to find something good to do with my money at the end of the year. Well, we rescue and rehabilitate kids who have been raped by assholes. And we think that shit's an abomination. And I will, until there is no more breath left in my lungs, continue to do that. And I will put as many of those scumbags behind bars or in the dirt as I can. So if you think that's cool, maybe we should be friends. grindstoneministries.com. And you can get some really, really badass swag in the store at grindstoneministries.com right now. Caleb House hoodies, long sleeves, and t-shirts. Yes, they are expensive, because so is anti-trafficking. It cost me a minimum of $20,000 per month just to maintain ongoing operations for the more than 24 people we currently have rescued. And it can cost up to $50,000 to perform a single extraction to go get one person and take them from bad guys. So yeah, they're expensive. So is anti-trafficking. And the proceeds from those shirts will go to build the physical Caleb House location, as well as fund ongoing anti-trafficking missions. That is the brief for today. I love you, boys and girls. I hope you have an awesome day. Please share this show with people that you love. I would do it, Bear, but you said bad words, and my mom doesn't like bad words. She'll get over it. She'll be fine. Trust me, she'll be fine. I didn't drop any F-bombs today, so we're good. We're golden. Anyway, It's Wednesday. Go get some. Y'all have a blessed day. Shalom.